So it's been a minute since we did some sort of air cooling, water cooling, experimentation. If you guys remember this thing, I made this water cooled air cooler a while back. If you haven't checked that video out, check it out up above or down below. Just click on something around here. But when I released this video, one of the first comments I seen was people asking me, why didn't you just take the air cooler, chop the heat pipes off, and pump water through those and use those as your water cooling lines? And I was like, it's a good idea. Didn't think of that, but here we are. I made that. That worked out great. And I still see that that comment to this day. And somebody actually even linked me a video of somebody already doing it, asking me to make a video like that, but in English, because that video is like a Korean or a Chinese fella. So here we are. We're gonna do that. You guys have asked for it many times, and here we go. Let's chop these off, pump some water through it, and see if it makes things better or worse, because we've already ran this air cooler on the i5 2500K, and you guys remember the scores, right? Here they are, just to check them out, and we're gonna see, does this make it better, worse, indifferent? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, as always, the first rule of thumb is don't do things like this. Don't just cut open random things with a Dremel. But if you have to, make sure to always wear some sort of PPE to keep yourself safe. And remember, the internet exists so you can watch people do things like this without doing it yourself. So when it all comes down to it, just don't do it. Watch somebody else do it. But you know what? Somebody's got to do it. So here we go. We're gonna cut these pipes open, see what they look like, and then see what we got to do to get some cooling pipes installed on them. So here we go. So the contraption has been built, and I'd have to say it's not as tough as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of hard to get these fins off. I thought they might be like soldered, but they seem like they're just like a press fit. They come right off. Maybe on other air coolers they could be, but for the 212 you just pull those babies right off. I flared out, as you've seen, the top of the heat pipes to keep the tubes on, and everything's been leak tested and it looks good. So now the only thing left to do is put this on the test bench, and we're going to do 2 tests here. We're going to do one with just the air cooler with water running through it using the radiator. And then we're gonna throw the fan on and try to do everything, both radiator with fans and then an air cooler fan setup type deal, and see if that gives us any better performance than just running this like a big goofy water block. So let's see how it works. So we're done. We ran all the tests, and it was actually a little tougher this time around than I inspected. And there's a couple reasons why. One, I think my test bench is dying. It's having a real rough time booting up nowadays, but we got it going. Also, so when I flared out the heat pipes, it kind of made the edge real thin, and since I used a pair of pliers, it wasn't exactly a perfect circle. So getting a good seal was really hard. You might have seen all the hot glue that I put on top was just kind of like a last-ditch effort. But basically, I had one tube that was like a slow seep. Wasn't really a big deal. Had to keep dabbing it during the test. But all in all, not too bad. If I did this again, I would try to give the lip a little bit more, maybe roll the edge or something so it didn't leak as easily. But we're done, and we have some results. Just real quick, I forgot to say that I did run the test with the fan off, this fan here, and then after the test was complete, I did kick the fan on to see, and then let it run for 10 or so more minutes to see if the temperature would come down anymore, and it didn't. I just wanted to let you know that, fan on, fan off, the air cooler fan doesn't really make a difference in this kind of configuration, which is to be expected because most of the heat is being transferred through the water and not the fin stack. But just forgot to say that, and thought I'd let you know. Bye. Today's room temperature is 25.6 degrees. We had an idle temperature of 44.6 and an average package temperature of 65.8, meaning that we have a delta of 40.2, meaning that this 212 EVO is now in 4th place when we look at all the other coolers we've tested on this setup. And it's barely in 4th place. Like, it's pretty much tied for 3rd with the NH-U12A, meaning that we took a 212 EVO and made it just as good as Noctua's brand new NH-U12A with the awesome 120 millimeter fans that come on that, which is pretty impressive. Getting this cooler is pretty cheap. I will say that I'm actually kind of surprised it did so well. The tubes, the heat pipes are so flat on the bottom. I thought it was going to be really restrictive, and it was. There was really high pressures. This pump did a good job because it's so powerful. I had to use that little Amazon pump. Probably had a problem, but that's also kind of turned into why we had this slow seep, is because the pressures were so high as it trying to force all that water through there. But it did keep the temperatures down and did a lot better than I expected. So thank you guys for, commenting that you want to see this. If you have any more ideas, make sure to leave a comment down below. And if you stumbled onto this video and you're not subscribed, consider getting subscribed to the channel. Maybe check out the other air-cooled water cooler, water-cooled air cooler. But hang on, stick around. We got more to come. See you next time.